Hey, Celia, how are you?
Hey, super excited to hang with you.
I am so excited you're here talking to everyone in the nice community, and I'm always excited to chat with you myself. So, thank you so much. You and I have known each other for a little while now, but for those of you in the nice community that are not familiar, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so hello everybody. So excited to hang with you. So I'm Celia Wallace. I am a soulful online business coach, and primarily I work with female entrepreneurs who either want to discover their divine purpose or their passion in life, all the way up to people who want to start their business, launch online, and create online courses in a really sustainable way, focusing on self-care, connection, spirituality, community, all that delicious good stuff.
Love. So the first time Celia and I talked, I was like, oh, this girl is the real deal. So I'm so excited that you're going to talk to us today and we're going to banter about marketing principles and practices. So you've got a course that you run, as you mentioned, the Superfly, what's Superfly
So
program?
business.
Soulful Business. Wait,
Yes.
hang on. What's the name of the program?
The Superfly Soulful Business Program.
Oh, Superfly. Okay, I'm going to cut that. So you've got a business that you run, the Superfly Soulful Business Program. And tell us exactly what is encompassed in that.
Well, really, it's A to Z. So it's like soup to nuts, everything you need to go from discovering what you're meant to do in the world, who you're meant to serve, how you're supposed to show up in terms of your offering, your programs, whether it's online, in person, and really creating aligned, beautiful marketing that really speaks about self expression and is authentic and is standout, and also incorporates self care, soulful practices. So each day, you're taking care of yourself, you're connecting with nature, you're getting exercise, you're hanging with your family, all those things that as modern women we're constantly trying to juggle. We want to create these beautiful businesses, but what happens a lot of times is we get really burnt out. So what I like to do is teach women how to create really beautiful businesses that make money and make impact, but they also are aligned with who they are and how they want to care for themselves.
So I want to take three business levels and we're going to break them down three levels. Totally new. I have no list. I'm just starting. I've been in this for a while, but I need to turn it up. And then we're going to look at like, I'm doing it. I'm making it happen. I really want to scale and grow now. So if you're cool with it, I
Yeah, let's do it.
okay, awesome. Marketing tip for each level. Starting with, I am brand new. I don't have a list. Where do I start?
Yeah, so if you're absolutely brand new, I like to begin with you looking at your life experience and everything that you've been through, all of the challenges, all the obstacles, all the ups and downs, the twists and turns, and figuring out what in that you feel most called to share with the world, what you feel you have the greatest gifts in, the most passion about, the most expertise because you've been through something, you've gained knowledge or skills that can help other people. And so really by tapping into what's unique about you, what's unique about your journey, maybe the crazy twists and turns. By tapping into that, then you create something that's really aligned and unique. And as you begin to build your business, whether you're an online marketer, whether you're a branding person, whether you're providing a service, whatever it is, you will stand out because there will always be thousands and thousands of people doing what you do. And our challenge is, how do we stand out? How do we create, brand recognition? And my number one tip in doing that is by being as personal and as much of a storyteller as possible. So the more that you can connect with what is unique to you and create and build your business around that when you're beginning, the better off you'll be.
That's awesome. So how do I get like people engaged with those stories that I'm telling? So once I've nailed that down, what
Yeah.
is it that I'm going to focus on and how am I going to communicate that? How do I start to share that with people so I can bring people into my world and start to work with them?
Yeah, well, I think social media is really your best friend. I mean, right now, that's like the hottest marketing tool there is, and it's free. Obviously, you can put a little money behind it and boost it all up, but the way I like to approach social media marketing is for you to look at it like you're talking to one specific bestie, girlfriend or boyfriend. And so, like, if it were you and me and I'm doing a post, I might share something like, hey, I'm working on this launch right now for the Superfly program. I'm super psyched, but you know what? I'm feeling really overwhelmed because I got the kids in the other room and I got an interview to do right now. How do you deal with it when you have so many things that you're juggling at one time? right? And so by doing that, I shared a personal story. I let them a little bit behind the scenes. So it wasn't just like, oh, I'm perfect, I'm launching, my business is an A plus. It was like, yeah, I'm launching, but it's a little bit crazy. And then you turn it around and you ask a question where you engage them. And by asking those questions, I mean, it's simple, but it's like the key to always getting the engagement, because then they reply. They go, oh, she asked me how I handle it. Well, this is how I deal with it.
That's awesome. Okay, we're going to take it to the next level. So I've got some traction, but it's not enough traction. And we're sort of building. Some of what you just said applies, but like, yeah, I'm starting to get some comments on my posts, but they're not really in my world yet. How do I take it to that next level?
Yeah, so I mean, really it's about creating valuable content. Mm-hmm. And so really thinking again about the end game. What is it that you ultimately want to sell to them? What is it that's going to be your moneymaker? Is it a course? You know, I teach online courses, so I teach people how to create those. But let's say it's something in person. Let's say it's a photography business. You know, whatever it is, at the end of the day, you want to sell them a specific package. So then you have to work your way back from there and think, if they're going on a journey with me, through beginning with me in terms of something totally free, and then I'm going to take them on a journey with these emails and all these other free goodies and eventually sell to them, what is that whole journey that has that alignment? So for me, like, if ultimately I want people to enroll in the Superfly Soulful Business Program, I'm going to begin them back here with beautiful blog posts that are really content rich and valuable with step-by-step processes on how you can start your online business, you know, how you can stand on online, how you can, you know, be a leader in your industry, and get people just in my world first by just reading those blog posts, which are totally free. And then in there I have, hey, want to sign up for my free online business guide? It rocks. It's going to take you step by step, and that's 33 pages. It could be an actual product, right? So I teach my ladies to create free things that are so valuable that they're things that you could sell, that people would want to buy from you. But when they get them, it's not just this one little one pager of something. It's something that's like content rich, it's engaging, it asks them questions, there's exercises, and they can apply it right away. So by doing all of that, and then you back end it with getting them into your email funnel, which some of your followers know and some that may be new to, but the concept being is you don't just have people opt into your list and not send them any emails. Yeah. There's this really cool thing you could do where you can set up in ahead of time, you know, 5 to 7 emails they get over that first month when they're on your list, where you're really getting them into your world. You know, the first one can be like, here's your freebie, download it here, I hope you love it, let me know what you think. The second one can be like, just in case you're not sure who I am, you know, this is a little bit about my story, who I serve, what I love to do, you know, hit me back and let me know what you love to do. You know, the third thing can be something that's really brief and be like, here's one more extra freebie for you, click here to download. And you're just adding value. And then just the last thing I want to say on that is then you can always amp it up with like paid marketing, you know, paid advertisement, which I guess we'll talk about in the third level.
I love it. So yeah, let's go there. I've got it down. I know what I'm talking about. I'm getting some traction. People are engaged. They're starting to come into my world. They're receiving my blog posts, and they're getting on my list and joining my community. But I really am ready to scale and go big. So what's that next piece for soulful business owners to think about?
Well, it's about how to get paid.
I love it.
Being a soulful business owner does not mean that you're so focused on serving other people and everything being free that you're not setting up the mechanisms to get paid. And so what you need to do is look at your website and really make sure that everything on there is set up to funnel people into your free opt-ins, and also that your services and ways that they can work with you and your prices are very visible, so people who are coming to your website and like you can click around and find what they want to find, and may sign up right away for a consultation with you, may sign up for one of your programs right away, or may just hop on your list right away. And so that's one thing. The other thing is to get clarity on maybe, you know, 1 to 3 main products and programs and services that you're going to focus on for the next 6 to 12 months. So what happens a lot of times is people are really multi-passionate, you know, really multi-talented, and they're like, I don't want a niche, I don't want to focus on one lane, I want to keep all my options open. But then a year later, they're realizing they're not getting any traction. And so what you do to make traction is to narrow your focus, narrow your niche, become the expert in that lane, and just continue to get deeper and deeper. And so with that being said, if you can focus on 1 to 3 main offerings. I mean, I'm a big fan of online courses because they create, really that freedom where you can create it one time and you can set it up either as an evergreen course where you just do a launch, but you don't have to show up and do any coaching at all. Or you can do it as an interactive mentoring program like the Superfly program is, where they sign up. It's 8 weeks, but they also get me to like walk them through the whole process. Or you can take that same exact content and create like a VIP day or a one-on-one coaching, high-end coaching with you, where they're going through the exact same process. So you're basically repurposing the content.
Yeah, I love this. So you hit all of the levels as people are thinking about creating their courses. And I love that you said 1, maybe 1 to 3, but focus. And we can build upon that as we go. And of course, we are communities filled with multi-talented people. But if we can focus, we can get traction faster. So I love that you zeroed in on that. What would be a nugget that you would give someone building their course? Like, I want to build a course. Where do I start from that perspective?
Yeah, so you want to think about, again, I always go back. So regardless of whether you're advanced or not, to me, you can always refine. So I always like to go back to the beginning, which is, what am I the most passionate about? What do I know the most about? And who is it that I really, really want to serve with that knowledge? And so if you go back there and you think about, okay, this is what I want to do. This is who I want to serve. Now think about that woman or that man or that ideal client. And the question is, what is it that they're laying in bed at night, thinking about, wishing for this dream solution to fall from the sky, that they're like, I don't even care if it costs $10,000. Like, I need somebody to help me balance my checkbook. I need somebody to help me figure out how to clean this house up. I need somebody to help me find the love of my life. Like, I am dying inside and I need support, and I would want to hire anybody for that. So that's where you're like, ding, 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 there is demand there. There is a need there. And then if you're creating your course, what you want to think about is where your client is right now. Like, let's take a single woman who wants to find, the love of their life or whatever. Right now they're single. Working with you over 3 months, 12 weeks, they may eventually at least position themselves to find the right partner, if not find the right partner. And so then what you need to think about, if that's your area of expertise and you know a lot about it, is what are the steps that it takes to get there? Where would you begin? Is it, doing an inventory of like your blocks and wounds and what sort of standing in your way and doing the work to purge yourself of that, so that you can get yourself ready to receive? Is it, a lot of mindset work? Is it self-image? Is it going online, setting up an online profile? Like, these are all different steps, right? So you want to think about what are the steps that it takes to get from A to Z and set up those as your different modules. And what I've learned from creating courses, because as you can see in this interview, I have so much to share. I'm so passionate. I always want to throw it all in, like the whole kitchen sink in the program. But you would be surprised how little people actually need and want. They want, really simple steps each week or each session, just really simple basic knowledge. Because a lot of times, I'm sure the women and men who are listening may feel like, okay, I want to create my course. I've been wanting to create my course. I've been wanting to launch online, but I feel so overwhelmed because I haven't created the content and I don't know all the steps and I want to make it all bells and whistles and everything. And what I'm here to tell you is you do not need to do that. You can launch literally in a month, right? Or in 2 months. You can sell before you even created the course, especially your first time, which I can go into more detail about. But yeah, so just think of the steps to begin with.
Love this. So this is what you do in your program. You focus on how to build the course and as well as the marketing elements and then the care for us as people, because it takes a lot to build and grow and launch a program. Would you agree?
Yes. Yeah. Talk about all of it, and we do launching, we do Facebook ads, we do the sales consult. So literally, everything you need out there, because I've invested in so many high-end coaches, some really great, some not so great. And I just took all the little bits and pieces and things that worked for me and were working for my clients. And same thing with my spiritual coaches and spiritual mentors and just all the things that I've learned from my own journey. And instead of creating 2 different parts of me and saying, over here is my spiritual, soulful, self-care, love stuff, and over here is my high-end business strategy, I realized that's not who I am. It's about this fusion of the 2, and that's what makes me special. And I think a lot of people are really craving that. And so that's how I hit my sweet spot with the Superfly program, is coming up with, what is a woman like me sitting up at night thinking about? She's thinking about, how can I make more money, more impact, more influence, but also have more flexibility, more freedom, and this really amazing lifestyle where I can travel and spend time with my kids and all that good stuff.
Incredible. So if people want to dig into this more and sort of keep this conversation going, you have some webinars coming up, yes?
Yes, I do. So the webinars coming up are going to be on how to launch your first, or if you've already done your first, you can do your second or third or fourth. But basically everything that I talked about today, and we're going to be talking about on the webinar, but in more detail, how to launch your first online coaching program. Awesome. And really just starting at, if what you wanted to do was just your beginner course, you could easily make $10,000 on your first launch. A lot of my clients are doing that, and they've gone on to do more and more. And so we're starting at the first step, what I feel is very attainable, so that you don't get really overwhelmed. But everything that we teach could be amped up. So we have people who come to the program that are beginners, and we have people who come to the program who are advanced, and everybody's just on their own spectrum, just knocking it out the park. And so the webinars are totally free. I'm sure you'll provide the link to them, and they can join the webinar, come say hi, say, I saw you with Amber, and, I have this question, or you were awesome, or whatever it is, and get all this amazing value.
Yes, I love it. So we will definitely have the link to the webinar below this video so people can go there and dig in more. And we'll also have the link to the program. So if people want market research, if they want to learn more about the structure, they can see exactly how you're merging marketing with merging the soulful practices, and really building an online course and bringing an online business and bringing all of your passions together. And I know in the program, you deliver. When you were talking about how you've pulled strategies that are working for you, it's so true. I have known Celia just over a year now, and I have seen her in action in a very detailed way. And she practices what she preaches. She delivers, and she supports her community in a big way. You get personalized support. So if you're ever wondering, like, oh, are they even going to see me? Are they going to wonder? Yeah, she's there. She's totally there. You will get your questions answered.
We have live calls with me, and I try and hot seat as many people as possible. But yeah, literally everybody knows me. I know everybody. I'm in the group. All of my colleagues like you and other people are like, are you okay? Because you're like in that group a little bit too much. Like, it's so much high touch with you. But I feel like that's where I thrive. It's what I love. And I want to show up for my ladies because I believe in them. I want them to be able to live the life too.
Another reason I like this girl so much. Thank you so much for interviewing and being here with us. Are there any last final tidbits or any final insights you would want to give to the NICE community, people who are building their online courses and want to get them in the world, any end of the spectrum?
Yeah, focus. Really focus. You have to just buckle down and do the work. You have to just figure out what your bread and butter is, where your money's coming from, and keep that going. But other than that, if you want to create a course, or if you want to create an online product or program, you need to make that the priority and really focus, because as you can see, we've just been talking for, a short period of time here, but there's a lot that it requires. It's it's not so daunting that you can't do it, but you really need to make it a priority, put it on the top of your list, and focus on doing it and knock it out. And so you can do it on your own. You totally can do it on your own. And especially if you come to the webinar, you'll get the step-by-step way to do it on your own. But if you want mentorship and support and guidance and love and all that good stuff, then do it with me. I guess I'm biased, but I really do think that I'm the best person out there doing this kind of work. So I'm so excited. I love it.
I adore you too. I would agree that you are one of the best out there. So if someone's looking for a partner in growing their business, check out Celia's Superfly Soulful Business Program. And I'm going to give you a virtual high five. That was an awesome interview. Thank you very much. And we'll see everyone hopefully over on the webinar or in the Superfly Business Program. Bye, guys.